There's a tipping point in your financial journey that completely transforms your relationship with money, and it's not the amount that you think. Most people are really focused on becoming a millionaire that they absolutely miss this key financial milestone. Because imagine being able to wake up and look at your bank account and not be stressing with the pit at the bottom of your stomach about an unexpected bill. Or crazy, but choosing a career that you actually want and not one that you feel obliged to take just to get by. That is the power of saving your first $10,000. It's like finally standing on solid ground after years of financial uncertainty. And today I'm going to be sharing with you why this number creates such a psychological and financial foundation that nothing else can beat, and the key reasons this milestone is so transformational. Have you ever noticed how wealthy people just react differently to an unexpected bill, be it a flat tire or a broken down car? It's not just their bank account that's really different, it's actually their entire nervous system, and we're gonna look at why. Imagine scrolling through your bank account and you see an unexpected bill of $500 pop up. Your whole brain goes into panic mode, wondering, can I afford this? What am I gonna be able to do? Can I go out this week? Can I pay groceries? Do I need to start delaying other payments? It is literally panic mode. When you're financially insecure, your body responds to these financial events the same as if it was in physical danger, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, literally sending your nervous system and your whole body into a state of fight or flight. It's getting ready for danger. And then in this state, of course, you're making decisions from a state of fear and not opportunity. So you can't even see how things could be better. During COVID, researchers found that those with less than $5,000 in savings actually experienced more depression, but those with more than $10,000 in savings, they just didn't have the same experience. So we can see that our financial situation has a real direct impact on our mental health as well. When you achieve that goal of $10,000, it will begin to shift so much in your life. Not only shifting from a scarcity mindset to one of more abundance, but also shifting a lot of those stressors that come with financial uncertainty too. Once you've escaped that scarcity mindset, something almost magical begins to happen. I have seen this in my own community with hundreds of first-time savers, and I know it is too common to be a coincidence. And that is that your journey to saving that $10,000, it no longer feels like an uphill battle, and it becomes this downhill forward momentum. Because here's the thing about saving that no one really tells you. It's not a straight line. Look, the mathematics of wealth building completely change at 10K. So if you were to save $1,000 every year at a 10% return, it would take you 8 years to achieve $10,000. However, your second $10,000 would take just 5 years. The acceleration happens because you're no longer just working for money. Instead, your money is actually working alongside you. And that momentum comes from compound interest, but also these new financial habits that you've instilled, like budgeting is now second nature. You've set up your automatic transfers. You've got it all dialed in for you. Now, I saw this with Sarah, who took 18 months to save her first 10K, but then took just 7 months to achieve 20K. So big results can happen if you stick with it and if you apply the right kind of plan. Now, those financial milestones that we looked at are pretty impressive, but what I love most is that it doesn't just change your bank account, it actually completely transforms your career trajectory as well. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, the power balance with your employer is completely out of check. So about 68% of Americans would not be able to cover their next month's expenses if they lost their job. And so as you can see, this creates this complete imbalance, and it's what we refer to as a silent career tax. And women are actually impacted the worst here. And so what happens is that you end up putting up with bad behavior, toxic job, toxic work environment because you don't feel like you have the opportunity or the options to leave or to change things. So you're really stuck in this very vulnerable position. But hitting that $10,000 changes everything. Experts like to call this a career insurance. I like to call it having FU money, which literally just gives you this breathing room and this opportunity to make decisions based on what is right for you in this moment versus what you feel like you have to put up with because of your financial situation. And I've seen this time and time again with women that I've worked with. You know, Jenna, she saved her first 10,000K and then had the confidence to be able to renegotiate her salary, and was able to achieve a 22% increase in her income. Again, because she was coming from a place of power, not vulnerability. I had another client, Rebecca. She was actually able to take a career break. Her job was no longer working for her, but instead of having to grasp and cling to the next opportunity that came her way, she took 2 months to figure out, what does she really want? Where does she really want her career to go, and with what company? And so she was able to find the perfect job and again, increase her income by making that career change. Saving that first $10,000 creates such an impact that extends way beyond just your bank account alone. Without a financial cushion, without those savings in place, every financial conversation feels like a battlefield. Because that date night out, that $75 dinner, well, that could have been used to pay the electricity bill. Or those new shoes that you just purchased, well, that could have covered part of this month's rent. So it's like every financial conversation from that point of view feels like you're navigating your way through a minefield. Now that 10K safety net transforms something else that is really deeply personal, and that is your closest relationships. So I used to be a financial columnist for one of the big prenup companies in the US, so I spent a lot of time writing about and researching money and relationships. Money is one of the #1 reasons that couples fight, and it extends far beyond just looking at numbers on a screen. Now, the statistics here are really quite shocking, with money being second only to infidelity as the reason that couples actually split up. Now, this tension can manifest in different ways, like having secret credit cards, hiding your purchases, which are forms of financial infidelity, or maybe it's just completely avoiding money talks altogether. Now, I've worked with so many women who would rather discuss anything with their partner than money, but I can guarantee that every single woman that has had that conversation has come back to tell me that it has strengthened their relationship. So if money is one of the key reasons that couples separate and you want to stay in your relationship, it's a pretty good thing to start tackling together, even if it means navigating some big discomfort at the start. Now, what I have found is that when you get on the same page as your partner and you have the same goals, your whole financial conversations begin to change from why did you spend that to, okay, what are we working on together as a couple? What is our next saving goal? What is our next milestone? And how can we support each other so that we can achieve this even faster? Now, while things with your significant other begin to flourish, something else really magical also begins to happen internally. That voice at the back of your head that used to be telling you you're not really good with money is now saying, hey, you're actually pretty good at this. Because you've been taking action, you're seeing results, and you're putting in place habits that are setting you up for financial success, not just today, but in the future too. So this transformation, it's not just about numbers. It's who you're becoming, how your identity is changing, how you see yourself, your own self-image, how that is all shifting on the journey to achieving it. It's like stepping into a completely new identity. The old skin of I'm just not good with money, or I'm just not someone who can achieve that, or wealth is out of grasp for me, that completely is shed. And instead you step into an identity of, I can do this, look at what I've achieved. And if I've done that and I thought that was gonna be hard, what else is possible for me? And this is really found in the research too. A study by Northwestern Mutual found that 92% of Americans are happier when their finances are in order. And I've seen this myself in my own community with the women that I work with. Their whole identity begins to shift. The I am statement of, I am now a saver. I am good with money. And then they begin to understand, oh, if I'm good with money and I am a saver, maybe I can also become an investor. And so their whole financial trajectory, their future financial success just goes on a completely different pathway for them. Now, the identity shift that we talk about isn't just psychological. It's actually backed by one of the most powerful forces in the financial universe, and the math can back it up. Even though it's kind of counterintuitive, $10,000 saved at 25 is worth more than $20,000 saved at 45. And let me share with you how. See, we naturally assume that bigger numbers in finance always win. And it's one of the key reasons that I see so many women postpone starting to save, starting to invest their money until they really have a substantial amount of wealth to get started with. But I can say this until I'm blue in the face. When it comes to saving, when it comes to investing, when it comes to your financial success, time is your superpower, so do not give that up. Now, the reason this magic happens is because of something called compound interest, which is basically where your money starts making you money. And of course, if you understand that, you begin to understand why time really is your best friend, because the longer your money has to work for you, the harder it can go to work for you. If women who came into my world understood just that one principle, I can guarantee it will completely transform their entire financial reality. Because again, time in the market is more important than anything else. Now, while time is growing your money, something else really powerful is happening alongside it. Neuroscience has found saving your first $10,000 actually begins to install really powerful habits and creates new neural pathways in your brain that sets you up for long-term financial success. So beyond just chasing any one specific number, it's really about building your unique wealth building operating system. This is really about putting in place habits that are going to support you in the long run and installing that new identity along the way. It's why we see so many lottery winners who can have these massive windfalls actually lose all their money or spend it so quickly and are back to be completely broke. It's because they never had the opportunity to install new habits or shift their identity, and so they went about their life in the exact same way with the habits that led them to be in a place of financial uncertainty and financial instability before. So as you journey towards that $10,000, you're installing habits that really are so fundamental, like delayed gratification, the ability to postpone a dopamine hit, this happiness high, in favor of achieving your financial goal. You're putting in place spending awareness, right? Having a conscious awareness of how much you're spending on things and where your money is going. And it's putting in place this awareness of what is happening overall with my finances. Am I moving in the direction of achieving my financial goals? And having these monthly check-ins or monthly money dates, as I like to call them, where you're literally reassessing where you are financially. Have you stayed on track? Have you gone off track? And how to course correct along the way. Now, all of these habits, they don't just build wealth, they really completely transform your financial reality, which is why I think saving your first $10,000 is just such a massive win on so many fronts. But here's the problem. Most people will never achieve that milestone, and it's not because they don't want to, and it's not because they're not capable of doing it. It's because they're stuck in this cycle of spending and only saving when they have extra amounts of cash. Another year tends to go by and they have nothing to show for it. What if saving $10,000 was not as hard as you think? I break it all down in this video here, how to save $10,000 fast and easy without feeling deprived, without feeling overwhelmed. It's so simple. It's a complete no-brainer to watch. So click the video here and enjoy.